Hello roller coaster gamers, welcome back to Planet Coaster. Now this time I have a new park. As you can see, I am doing a new park. This time it's themed to a different game, and you'll see when as I show off the rides. I'm just gonna show off most of the roller coasters. The roller coasters I'm not gonna show are the ones that are small that aren't really worth our time. So this roller coaster called the Dragon Shield, I didn't know what to call it, so I just needed a family coaster for kids and like families and stuff. Just a smaller ride, so I just named it Dragon Shield, I guess, because I didn't. This is one of three roller coasters that I have in here that isn't custom. This is actually one that's. I don't know if it's of a real roller coaster. It's one made by, it's one of these. No, like a blueprint one. It's one of these. Okay, so this I didn't actually build myself, and because I didn't really feel like building a family coaster manually. So there we go. So then we also have this one, which I did build myself, but I don't think is going to be worth much time, except for these cool tunnels here. It's just like a mine train, and it's called Herbert's Expedition. Okay? Right? Now Herbert's Expedition, you might, if you've played the game that this park is themed to, you may recognize that name. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it. This park is themed to Amnesia, the Dark Descent, and Herbert is a character in that game. You don't actually see him, but you hear about him, and you get flashbacks of him talking. And then I might show the water coaster, so I'm not going to skip over that. I'm going to skip over this one because this is just another family coaster, and it's called Brennenburg, which is because it has some castle stuff around it. This one was another blueprint one that I didn't build myself. Since it has these towers on it, I just named it Brennenburg, which is the castle that the Amnesia the Dark Descent, the game, takes place in. And then, yeah, this is one I built myself. It's just a kiddie coaster, because you gotta have a kiddie coaster to entertain the toddlers and everything. It's called Ratty. Why does it have D in it? Ratty Runs. It's themed to the rats that crawl around on the floor in Amnesia the Dark Descent. So yeah, it's just a kiddie coaster. Whatever y'all talking about. Okay. Yeah, we also have a drop tower. It's called the Manipulator. It's themed to how Alexander manipulates Daniel into killing people, basically. And the Manipulator kind of makes sense because on a drop tower, when you get to the top, they kind of sing a song or do a countdown, but then troll you to where they either do it earlier or later than it looks that they say they're gonna. So that's why I call it the Manipulator. I didn't really know what to call that, so I just call it that. And then we also have another blueprint one, and I named it the Shadow because it's red, which is what the Shadow in Amnesia the Dark Descent is, and it's a launch coaster. And the Shadow, there's a scene in Amnesia the Dark Descent where the Shadow chases the player. So I had this as that coaster. I'm not gonna show it because it literally just launches backwards, goes way up, and then down. So I don't know if I'm gonna show a video, on-ride video of that. So the first thing we're gonna ride is the water coaster, the Karenk. Karenk, I don't know if you recognize that name, is basically the water lurker, the invisible water monster in the cellar archives and archive tunnels, the one that you can't see, but the only time you can see its movement is from splashing. So let's get on this. It's called the Karen, because it's the water coaster. So let's watch this. Starts off like just a relaxing water ride at first. Then we have the smaller lift zone. This is where our warm-up section is. It's warm up to the later parts of the ride, you know. I'd probably consider this a family ride too, except for the final drop at the end of the ride. So that's just a warm up. That's just like, it's a tease of, it's like, no, you think that's it? No, we're gonna go bigger. By the way, this is a blueprint one too. The rest of the ones that I'm gonna show on ride are ones that I actually built myself. Here we go. So this is the roller coaster section here. Now you know why it's called a water coaster and not just a normal water ride. Here we go. Here's the drop. And that's it. And we just go back into the station, so it's fine. Open that back up. Alright, so let's ride this thing. This one is called Insanity. And you know, in Amnesia the Dark Descent, there's a mechanic, like there's a sanity meter that you have. It's not really a meter, but it shows like a brain. And the more insane Daniel or you, aka you, the player, gets, the more shriveled up it gets, and the more visual distortions on your screen happen when you're playing. So this ride is basically themed to Daniel. I didn't call it Daniel, I called it Insanity, but that has to do with Daniel's sanity in the game. So let's do this. Come on. Sorry, it's weird sometimes. There we go. Come on. So, and yeah, these trains are really small. Here we go, Insanity. Look at this weird way it drops. By the way, I built this one myself. This is not a blueprint one. I built this one myself. Go, just a sudden steep drop. Look, a heartline roll. By the way, that first inversion that was kind of acted like the drop was a dive loop. That's an inline twist. Now the inline twist and heartline rolls look similar, but the difference is the heartline roll kind of goes out like that, and the center of your chest is the way it spins around. On an inline twist, it's kind of like the center of rotation is the track, or basically the train basically is the center of rotation instead of the person on the train. If the I'm going too much into the science that people probably don't care about. Okay, so now let's ride the one right next to it, which is themed to the darkness in the game, and it's literally called the Dark Descent. And it has a steep drop, and I painted it black, so there you go, there's the theme. The dark descent, get it? Because it's like a beyond vertical drop. Here we go. This is a smaller trade as well, but that one from before had lap bars and it was a bit smaller. This one is a bigger roller coaster and it has over-the-shoulder restraints. Alright. There we go. Look. Beyond vertical drop. Banana roll. An Immelman. Okay, that's a weird looking corkscrew, but that's what that is. Bank turn. That's a normal shaped corkscrew there. Alright. That was the Dark Descent. So the two roller coasters that we've ridden are Insanity and the Dark Descent. Now we are going to go back here to these two. You know the main enemies in the game, the Grunt and the Brute? That's what these are. So this one is called the Grunt's Claw. This one is called the Blade of the Brute. So let's ride the Grunt's Claw at first. But, it looks tall, but it actually doesn't have a very big drop, and it's mostly about the swinging motion the car does. It is under the track, but you see your legs aren't dangling out. It's actually just like you're actually like fully in a car. So it's like imagine like a family inverted coaster, but it swings side to sides. And there's a drop. The drop out of the station actually is steep. Looks like it's steeper or better than the drop off of the lift hill because it's a straight drop, straight down drop. When I say straight down, I'm not talking about a vertical drop. I'm talking about like it goes straight forward. The drop, this one is curved. It curves to the left. This one is just a straight like drop out, which I honestly prefer those kind of drops than curved drops. Because I guess they feel steeper, and they're like that, or that they're just more thrilling, I guess. Okay, let's ride this. The Grunt's Claw. Now this roller coaster is a bit slow, but the suspended coasters are like that. They're typically not very fast. Well, some of them can be faster. Yeah, this lift hill is slow, so. Okay, we're almost to the top. Here we go. The swinging motion kind of represents the way the grunt swings around to hit you like this. That's where it gets slow right here, and I had to put another like a small lift just to get it back up to the top here, because the station here, this station is the highest in elevation. This ride is the highest in elevation in the park with the station. It's not the tallest. The tallest is way over there. You can see it way over there. But this one is the station is the highest in elevation out of all the coasters. So I literally had to have another lift hill just to get it back up here. Then it just ends basically. So yeah. Okay. Alright, so that was the Grunt's Claw. Now we're gonna ride the Blade of the Brute, which is probably better. It's an RMC, and RMCs are amazing. So, RMC is a roller coaster manufacturer, by the way. Okay. This was the first roller coaster I added to this park. So, here we go. The Blade of the Brute. This is probably my favorite roller coaster in the park, at least for me. Because RMCs are great. RMC is short for Rocky Mountain Construction. What they do is they build wooden coasters. Like this is a wooden coaster. The track looks like it's steel, but all wooden coasters have a steel slab on the top of the track. And their wooden coasters are really smooth and really fun. And they also make hybrids, which is steel track on top of wooden support structure. So, oh, here we go. That was the first steep drop. Here we go, 0G roll. And then we go all the way down. It's really loud. Here we step up, airtime hill. Here we go, corkscrew. There's a bit weird of a weird stall there. Look, double down. That's airtime right there, out of your seat. Overbank turn. An outer bank turn like that. Weird of a weird speed wheel there. Another airtime hill. Look, whoa! Did you see that? That would have been ejector. Here we go. One more airtime hill before the brake run. Look, and ooh, there we go. Yeah, that one packs a punch. Okay, there we go. That's the Blade of the Brute. But the second drop off of the 0G roll is actually bigger than the first drop. That's some good use of terrain there. Okay, so we're gonna skip right past this one. I already told y'all that this is basically just a mine train. It's not worth our time to show on ride. Now we're gonna show the Daughter Zimmerman. The Daughter Zimmerman is the one that ends up getting killed in the storage by Daniel. And that's what makes Daniel realize that he was killing innocent people all along. And then Alexander reveals his plans, and Alexander reveals that he was lying to Daniel the whole time, and then hides and takes the orb, hides in the inner sanctum, and leaves Daniel to die from the shadow. which is why Daniel wants revenge on Alexander. I just went into the story there, but basically this is themed to the girl that Daniel kills in the storage. What? Come on, stupid thing. I swear I have to do this back and forth with that a million times for some reason. I should only have to click those once. Is it broken down? Are you serious? What are you doing? Come on. Finally, there. Jeez, that. I had to do that freaking 4 different times. That was stupid. The daughter of Zimmerman. It doesn't tell. It doesn't tell. It doesn't say the daughter's the girl's name. So I'm just calling this the daughter of Zimmerman. Here we go, finally at the top. That totally didn't take forever. Here we go. Goes a bit slow there. Slow there, but that's okay. Wooden coasters do that when they're at the top of a big hill. Here we go, U-turn. Here we go, back down the hill. Alright, that's the daughter of Zimmerman. It's a pretty sunset. Okay, now we are on. I might show this last. I'm gonna show it, but I'll show it last. So our next roller coaster is Alexander. The main villain, the antagonist of Amnesia: The Dark Descent. You believe. Come on, what are y'all still doing in that queue line? Like, just leave. Y'all are literally just standing there. Okay, that got him out. Whoa. Alright. So let's do this. This little is gonna be alive. Alexander, The one that... The villain. The one that levitates for some reason and is from another world. Alright, so... Okay... We're almost at the top, guys. Here we go. The longest ride in the park, probably, in track length. Well, the suspended coaster has a pretty long track length, too. Alright. Woo! This is our hypercoaster, our 238-foot tall hypercoaster. No inversions, but allows steep turns and airtime limits. Here we go. This is where it slows down so you can hang 90 degrees. Woo! Here we go. This one's a bit of an ejector fill right there. That one goes a bit faster. And then this next one is just a floater airtime limit. Woo! It's gonna slow down here because it's on top of a hill. Okay. And then airtime. Go to the side. Another little hill. And then turn into the brake run. Alright. So that's Alexander. And now I'm gonna show I am gonna show off this last one real quick. So, and by the way, I named the park, I didn't want to name the park Amnesia the Dark Descent. I named the park Prussia, which is where the Castle Brennenburg is. You know, that place in Europe where Germany, Poland, and all that are now? Prussia. That's what the park is called. So we're gonna ride the Shadow. Urban, get out. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is a backwards launch, okay guys? Backwards launch, this is the tallest roller coaster in the park. This one's like close to 400 feet. It's 300 something feet tall. Woo, you might get a bit of a butterfly feeling there. Alright, that was the Shadow. So that's all the rides I'm going to show here. And, yeah. So this is my Amnesia the Dark Descent amusement park. Let me know which one of those roller coasters I showed off was your favorite one. And tell me if you liked this park or my Five Nights at Freddy's park better. Alright. So let's go. Did I just hear Guess saying boo? Wait. I swear I just heard Guess saying boo. Okay, whatever. So, that's going to be it for this Planet Coaster video. I'll see you next time, Roller Coaster Gamers. Bye!